After 16 years in power, the rule of Viktor Orban has come to an end. Orban calling his successor, Peter Magyar, to concede what Orban has called a painful election. The results are still coming in, but Magyar seemingly even managing to win the two-thirds majority in Parliament, which will give him the numbers needed for major changes in legislation.
Tisza and Hungary have won this election, not by a little, but by a lot. In fact, by an awful lot. Together we brought down the Orban regime. Together we liberated Hungary. We took back our homeland.
For us, it is painful, but it is clear. The responsibility and opportunity to govern have not been given to us. I have congratulated the winning party.
Well, we're going to cross then live to Budapest, talk to our reporter Clovis Casali, who joins us from there. Clovis, celebrations in Hungary then for the supporters of Peter Magyar?
Indeed, celebrations lasted long into the night, and I can tell you, you still have cleaners trying to clean up the streets on the banks of the Danube because the party was huge yesterday. Impressive scenes, very large crowds gathering throughout the night to celebrate this victory, with Peter Magyar, their Conservative candidate, winning with a crushing victory and addressing the crowds here, saying, "We have liberated Hungary. It's a new page in the country's history." There were many young people here on the banks of the Danube who we met, some telling us, "We know that change won't happen overnight, but at least now we have hope." Bear in mind, a lot of these young people only knew Viktor Orban in power. They never knew any other Prime Minister, and that's why it's so important for them. And it is a huge victory for Peter Magyar and his Tisza party, set to get more than two-thirds of seats here in Parliament. What does that mean? That means that they will have sweeping powers in order to put in place real change, carry out those structural reforms and constitutional changes they want, with Peter Magyar during the campaign vowing to fight corruption, push for investigations to find those who were guilty of corruption, and also to restore the rule of law, as he says, and bring about more independence, notably when it comes to public media. And worth pointing out also, huge voting turnout. We're talking nearly 80% yesterday for the vote.
Clovis, what then of Viktor Orban? I mean, he certainly won't be missed by many in Europe, will he?
Well, Viktor Orban has vowed to stay in politics, to lead the opposition forces here in Parliament. So he's not going anywhere. That's at least what the incumbent populist or far-right leader said yesterday. But it is a disappointing result for him and also for his allies. Donald Trump in the US, Vladimir Putin in Russia, because, of course, Viktor Orban has been over the years a real strong key ally of Moscow in Europe. On the other hand, you've got Peter Magyar, who's vowed to reinforce ties with European partners and not to reject the authority of Brussels, more to negotiate with Brussels, notably to get that much needed money back, because, you know, there are around 80 billion euros of EU funds currently frozen following EU sanctions against the Orban regime, while Peter Magyar will be negotiating with Brussels to get that money back. And one final word on the atmosphere last night here on the banks of the Danube. We saw a lot of Hungarian flags, but also some European flags, and also several times people chanting, "Russia, go home."
Clovis, thanks very much. Clovis Casali there covering that election for us live there in Budapest.